But first, back to America, where a standoff in Wisconsin is headed now to its second week. Thousands of protesters marching in Madison again today, and all 14 Democratic state senators are still in hiding across the border in Illinois. They are protesting a bill to strip most state workers of most of their collective bargaining rights. Republicans need at least one Democrat to come back to get a quorum to have enough members for a vote. Now, Republican Governor Scott Walker says if the legislature does not pass this bill by this Friday, he'll have to make even deeper budget cuts and maybe even start laying off state workers.
What we're proposing in this budget adjustment bill is really about our commitment to the future. And if we fail to make that commitment, we're ultimately going to have to deal with the consequences, not only ourselves, but the consequences we'll pass on to our children and their children into the future. And so this is an incredibly important moment in our state's history.
If the governor was serious about this repair bill, he would have come to us and said, we have economic issues and these are some suggestions, and we'd sit down and we'd talk about it.
And now one Republican state senator is talking about a possible compromise. But the governor doesn't seem on board. Mike Tobin's in Madison now. The governor just shot that idea right down, didn't he?
And, Shep, you're going to have to listen beyond the hecklers as I answer your question. But, yeah, Governor Walker shot that right down. He said limiting collective bargaining on a temporary basis is just moving a budget problem along to the next election cycle. Incidentally, the teachers shot down the temporary changes to collective bargaining as well, because they say you can't touch collective bargaining at all, not even on a temporary basis. Meantime, the 14 fugitive Senate Democrats remain somewhere over the border, and they're not coming back.
If we come back, they go into special session immediately, and we deal with the entire package as a whole. They do a call to the House, they'll lock us in the chambers, they'll limit the debate, time debate, and they'll do something called call the question, which means we vote almost immediately on it.
By the way, the University of Wisconsin Health Department says it's launching an investigation into the allegations that doctors were handing out bogus medical excuses. They call those allegations very serious, Shep.
As the people revolt behind you, I wonder, will the Senate convene without the Democrats? And if so, can they get anything done?
The Senate will convene tomorrow at 11 o'clock in the morning, and they can get a lot done. They can pass anything that doesn't have to do with finance with just a simple majority. The quorum is not required. So things like resolutions, things like appointments will all be decided without input from those 14 Senate Democrats. Now, I talked with one of those Democrats who is over the border. He said that stuff is decided by the majority without much input from them anyway, so the outcome is the same. Shepard?
Mike Tobin with not a lie in the bunch. Mike Tobin, thank you. And it's